welcome to Jadekind Gaming. My name is Adam, here with the 20th session of the Planetary Fragments Dungeons & Dragons campaign. We have Austin as Yarock, Ryan as Rin, Bob as Ren, and Nick as Tana. Last time, y'all sliced up a T-Rex, found and turned off the portal tearing device, had the other teams from the area move in to mop up the dinosaurs, while you obtained smartphones and moved your way through portals to Moonmire, where you went to the asylum looking for the Hades urn. You found there that someone had blasted down the doors, scryed on the rooms, suddenly killed a couple of prisoners there. You tracked the Caretaker's escape into the swamp until you found what appeared to be the crenellations of a tower with a medium-sized, blackened, undead hand inside of it, about 10 feet down from the surface of the water in the marsh.
And then we threw York in, and we got transported.
Yarock went down to investigate, and as it grabbed him, it palmed him. And he disappeared.
Also, we permanently closed the portal that the gnolls broke in from.
Yeah. So, to you three, Yarock has just vanished.
I jump in after him.
Right. Do you do anything before the hand goes to grab you?
Well,
with or without Genji?
Yeah, get off Genji. I'm not on Genji.
Okay. And then do you, as it reaches to grapple, do you...
I put my equipment away.
Okay.
So I'm free-handed.
Okay. Then you jump in.
Yep.
And it goes to grapple you.
Alright.
Do you resist? What are you trying to do?
No, I don't resist. I let it happen.
Then you as well will be palmed. So, moments after you've landed on the ground with just odd bits and bobs around in this stone room with pillars, and you, slightly out of normal, but about 100 feet away within this stone room, you heard the exclamation from the Caretaker.
Yeah.
And now, a Rin has fallen down from somewhere above behind you.
Am I dry?
You are not dry.
Prestidigitation.
Okay. But the room is dry, so other than the bit of water that just came in off of Yarock.
Didn't you also fall at 20 feet?
Yeah, 25 feet.
So I need to make acrobatics?
Yeah, I believe so, to reduce fall.
Yeah, where we have the reduce fall, because otherwise...
I don't know what the rules are for actually
7?
reducing damages.
6 falling damage.
Yeah.
So as you're in there figuring things out, to you two up top, one of them jumped into a hand, and then the other jumped into a hand. First one had some exclamation of, I'm going to see what's going on. The second one just...
This may be a hand of disintegration.
Yeah. I'm going to pull out the tracker device and try to scan and see if Austin's on the same plane or not, or if he's gone someplace else, or where the tracker is. Because
I sent a telepathic message to Genji to convince the other two that I'm still alive.
Genji does nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You can not get any signal from the tracking device.
It has to be within 1 mile of you for telepathy.
Oh, is he?
Hmm?
Yeah, if he's outside of the 1 mile, then
He's telling me the interdimensional tracking thing's also not picking you up. I think it's something different.
That's the other thing is there's no distance. There's no no. It doesn't work across planes rule here. Just within 1 mile, depending on how you draw that line.
through portal.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna try sending.
And that works at any distance and across planes.
Mhm.
Yes, but we do know it failed earlier with Caretaker.
Or he just didn't answer.
Or you didn't answer.
Yep.
Maybe he just spooked. Didn't listen to the voices.
So
And
we're figuring stuff out on our side, trying to decide.
unless this place has just
Alright,
essentially like a
so-
mega anchor lock ward.
I try sending.
Okay.
I do a sending to Ryan, asking, "Are you alive?"
You get no response.
Well, obviously that thing killed our friend. Throw grenades at it.
Hand of banishment. Or disintegration. Is there a hand on this side?
There is no hand on this side.
How's Caretaker doing?
He's been here like about a day.
Would he like a good berry?
Much appreciated.
He's skinny. Have 2.
He's like, "I'm
I think
full."
he said something about that last time.
Yeah, maybe. You can have 2.
28.
To a hit?
Yes.
I'm gonna hit. Anyways.
Yeah, 24 hours. I'll save my other good berries.
Okay.
They last. So why'd he come to this place?
There was somebody attacking the
14.
asylum.
Yes.
I fled.
Everyone there's dead now.
Well, your 2
You
inmates are.
22 damage.
Nah, they were dead when we found them. We didn't do it.
I feel like no one cares about this combat.
no, we don't.
We don't.
We're not there yet.
Yes.
That's not happening yet. So you're.
What are you
in the
talking
future.
about? I did sending, and then I started throwing grenades when nothing came
It
back.
takes tens minutes.
No, it takes one action.
It's definitely not ritual.
But they're doing stuff while we're doing that. I'm sorry. I wasn't going through round by round with their conversation. So I was seeing what you guys were doing. We'll get to that when you throw your grenade.
It's 3-5, that is 10 minutes.
And what, you just stumbled into this?
Yeah, there was sort of a clearing section. Stones.
And giant hand, yeah.
Didn't see that.
Oh, yeah, giant hand.
And we saw it.
I mean,
You
it
know
has-
full well you cleaned the water in order to be able to see
well,
it.
it has to grapple you, which means it literally grabs you.
Yeah, did you feel grabbed before you came here?
There was something under the surface there.
Yeah, giant hand. The more you know. Do you have an Urn of Hades with you?
Yeah, did you bring the vase?
Yes, it's. I set it over behind the pillar. And how much damage?
24.
24.
Both magical and fire. On the first one.
So are you.
If they don't pop out, I'm throwing another one.
I'll go grab the urn.
Would be similar. I don't know. People. People would be similar. one? Yeah, probably like that. Okay. So they do not pop out.
Okay.
I go grab the urn.
I was like,
You're working on it.
That was a lot of looking.
We're now on his turn.
It might work.
14.
14. We'll use the scout here. 14 would still hit.
2. 9.
Yeah. And so, as the hand is blown to bits,
18.
you're heading towards the urn.
Hmm.
As the entire room starts to rumble and collapse around you. I'll allow you a dexterity save to see if you can...
22.
Yeah, so you grab hold of the urn right as from within it. And where are you when you're doing this?
On the edge.
Up on one of the stones?
Yeah.
Okay. So right as the hand breaks and you find yourselves falling with water, you find the water from the pit falling. As now the opening at the stone, the flat, unbroken stone base that was about 10 feet down has opened up into a chamber below that this tower is on the top of.
I think catch me. To Genji.
Okay. Genji's now in the accessible space.
Wait, did they teleport up above the water, or we just break the roof and jump the lake on top of them?
No, the room, the stones around you are collapsing.
Oh, so like water's flooding?
Yeah, water is now falling through, and the stones is all collapsing inward because you are in a room that was...
I guess we gotta scramble swim upwards.
Depending on what's going on.
Yeah, like roughly like 100 feet in diameter, and you're now being condensed down to about a 20-foot diameter tower that the room is now falling into. And so as you're falling, you notice some of the bricks that were the columns in the side of the wall are falling and falling into place as they're basically forming the rest of the stone tower. And yeah, that's going to be a 50-foot drop.
Do I have time for an action?
You have time for a reaction.
Yeah. Do you A, grab Keeper, and have another coin on you?
Whether or not I grab him is up to the DM here. Whether or not I have another coin, yes.
But of course.
Yeah. I guess I'll let you do that first. With if that's your goal, well, make a dexterity save.
A dexterity. I have a class feature which lets me interpose myself against attacks as a reaction. Can I substitute that for a dex save?
No.
He's within 5 feet. He's got to be. I'm talking to him. Why do you want your NPC to die so much, Adam?
I love the idea that you can't talk to someone from more than 5 feet away.
You're not gonna. You thought you can.
He
but-
was just feeding the guy. He's giving him things.
Yeah, I mean you can, but I mean you don't talk to people from that far away. It's weird.
But no, my point is just it's not the same thing.
All right, that's not so bad. 16.
You are able to grab him, yes.
And it's more, you have your own charisma.
That was a check, right?
Safe.
Oh, then yeah, that was also more. Yes. 20.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to grab him, and your token just does...
If I fall 20 feet,
Triggers, safe fall.
trigger
Feather
fall.
Okay. So yeah. And then...
I'm curious where you're getting 5 from 0, 4. You're not proficient with it.
Mm-hmm. That is incorrect.
Well, it's interesting. Do you get a plus?
I don't even look at this. I look at these.
Oh, okay.
Those are probably just wrong. It's like I don't look at that. I looked at my 11 deck and said +0.
Mm.
And so you can dex save yourself to try and grab onto something. Or Genji, if you're calling him, can dex save or can do a dex save with disadvantage because it has to make the difference between getting to you.
Oh no, I'm better at dex saves than Genji is.
Okay.
21.
So you're able to quickly grab onto a forming window. And with that, I'll say, and hold on to the vase. So now about 20 feet down is Rin on the side, just holding on to what is sort of that upside down shield kind of shaped window, about, less than a foot wide kind of thing that there are around. And there are a few of them further down, whereas Austin and Caretaker are drifting down 50 feet to the base of this standing tower.
See, this is why you have more than one token. You go your entire adventuring career never needing them, and all of a sudden you need like 2 back to back.
Wait, so they're below me now?
Yes. They're about 30 feet further down.
Okay. Do I have like a turn?
Other than me describing things, we're out of an immediate urgency situation.
Okay.
Assuming you stop throwing grenades at this point.
Do they appear?
Oh,
Yes.
Does the tower stop sinking?
Yes, the tower does. It basically, things have fallen into place as a 50-foot tall tower, which they are now at the base of. You're holding onto a little window, which is below the actual surface, and it is just the sogging ground. Water is pouring in around your hand, but slowly. Otherwise, the pair of you are basically now in the bottom, treading on water, because 10-foot deep area of water went straight to the bottom, so the bottom 10 feet of this are water. Although that's water that's fairly clear, although as more water is pouring in from the wet ground that the windows are up against, it's starting to get murkier. But you can see that there is, floor down below and a door exiting out at the base of what seems to be an actual tower that was somehow put just into the ground here.
I drop down.
Okay.
Just yeet.
I guess I'll go and get picked up by Genji.
Yeah, Genji.
And I'm just like, rope.
Flying
How
mounts.
big is the area at the bottom?
About 20 feet wide.
And
20 feet wide?
there's stuff to explore, or we can just bring Keeper or Caretaker back up. You guys okay down there?
I'm good. I call Cure Maxes down.
In theory, eventually the water would also just raise you up.
I'm wearing heavy armor. And I breathe water.
Never mind.
Heavy as lead.
To be fair, it's heavy wooden armor.
Yeah. This stuff is like, it definitely sinks.
Uh,
And I'm a fat orc. I might be buoyant.
well, yeah, fat's buoyant.
Yeah, I'm not. I would float, yeah.
I'm sorry. You have like a thin layer of fat on your 2022 strength con. You are made of dense muscle.
Yes, that is true. My guy's pretty burly.
You look like one of those professional strongmen.
Yes, the guys lifting the giant rocks. You look kind of flabby, yeah, because I don't do cardio.
No,
Watch me
and
lift
pretty.
this rock.
no, it's because they have to eat
Strong
like
and pretty.
20,000 calories a day to maintain that level of strength.
So you've gone to pick them and carry them to the top? Is that weird?
Because Kiramaxis can get them. I just jump down there and try opening the door.
Okay. The door is wedged under here.
Wedged with what?
Water.
Is it water?
It would open inward, so yeah, it's probably...
Drill.
Well, that just means that there's no water on the other side of the door.
I can get to the other side of the door.
Why are you guys playing down there? Wasn't our goal to find...
Well, there is one way to get through
Mysterious
this
tower
door.
with teleporting hand.
So
Okay.
I take a grenade and I hit the door with it.
Just
Okay.
place this up here.
Okay, so you want to flood it?
After they get out.
Okay, so you have wait for everyone to get out until it's just you down there?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not. I was gonna say, and do you try to escape? No, you don't. You just take it because you're you.
I didn't roll a 1, and even if I had, I still would have succeeded.
I need this.
For wood damage versus magical fire.
Oh, no. I used a grenade.
Don't see why. Like, the other one
That's
doesn't...
what he did. He
Yeah,
just
no.
said it. That's what he did.
Yeah, I don't know. I
That's why.
understand that he did. I'm trying to figure out the reasoning behind it.
For
I want the
funsies.
door to blow in. I don't want to
He's got
burn
a chaotic.
the door.
He's got a chaotic alignment. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And so, what was your attack on that?
Attack or damage?
Attack.
Oh. I didn't roll 1. 28.
Yes. Now you can go with damage.
Uh, 16. It's magical.
I know. I'm just thinking of the situation when it has 1 hit point remaining, and it's a door.
It's buckling but hasn't given up the ghost.
Yeah.
But no, because that wouldn't be the case. Because ultimately, you would have blown through enough of it that the water would be able to get through. And so, while it is still physically there, as water is pouring through it, you could also choose just to wait for the water to drain through, and then it will no longer be under pressure, and you could pull it. In fact, at this point, now that it has somewhere to go, you could probably start pulling it out.
Kick the door.
Okay, so you could deal with damage with a kick.
17.
Yes. And 1 is
9
enough
damage.
to... Yeah, so as long as it is a positive number. Yeah. So you kick the rest, and it just shatters inward with the pressure of the water that's pouring through it. And it is leading into...
Whirling blade mass? Whirling blade mass? No.
Nick, how many hallways are filled with blenders?
You're really bad at guessing sometimes. I mean, I know normally you're bad at guessing, but...
Hey, we've gone through at least 2 campaigns where hallways have had whirling blade masses.
And you thought this was the time for it.
Yeah, or he's being dragged along with water into a blender. Yeah, no, it seemed right.
This trap was specifically designed for somebody to break the door while there was water on the other side.
They
and
really
push them
worked
into
at keeping anyone from getting to it, but Felix... no, it leads into a flight of stairs going down into a larger stone room.
There's a library of magic books down there. They're all destroyed now.
If they're magic books, no, they're not.
They're all destroyed now. There's only weakness was water.
You did the world a service. You killed Griffith.
That's fine.
Yeah, so it walks, it's downward, and there are, I want to use the word buttress, but I think it's wrong.
But
Seeing how they're usually exterior.
Yeah, that's why I think it's wrong. But it's that curved shape, because it
Arches?
is... Yeah, arches probably works. It's a pointed arch.
but
So, like, Spanish arch?
Anyways,
Ducktail joint.
yeah, it is a tall room, but probably at about 10 foot above you is like every 10 feet there are like pointed arches that are just sort of loose decorative elements that then have the ceiling about another 10 feet above them. Intricate carvings into it, motifs of the gods on each step of these as they go down to a large metal door, which is rusted and just essentially the shape of a face. Make a knowledge religion check.
I don't think I'm that kind of...
No one is.
I'm not that kind of cleric. 15.
15. You're not exactly sure who, but it's a face that, you know, there are door handles. It is clearly a door.
Just hopefully it's no one in your pantheon.
Open door. Well, I do have a lockpick. Thermite. 20 to hit.
Yep.
For 11, 18, 25.
25.
It's magical fire.
And it does seem to hinder and distort a bit of the motif, but the structure of the door does not seem damaged.
I rolled a natural 1, so that's an 11.
So the door throws the grenade.
You slam it against it, slips out of your hand, falls behind you.
You guys, now from up top, are hearing more explosions down there. No one is probably surprised. Caretaker's a little concerned.
No one's
go
surprised,
back down.
but yeah, I'll hop on Genji. It's like, Caretaker, you want to stay up here or go back down into the mystery with us?
As he looks down a 50-foot drop and is like, gives you the, are you stupid? Look,
I point at the flying mounts.
probably a bit beyond my scope.
Okay.
So,
Well, I toss out the tower on the dry land. Here, you can stay in here then.
Should I, watch that?
watch what?
The urn.
You're holding an urn.
I put it in my portable hole.
It'll be safer
Make
this way.
a intimidation check?
Persuasion. It's safer this way.
Yeah.
He wants it because he's his guardian. You want it because we want them.
No, we want it because we need to collect these in order to keep the deck of many things from falling into the hands of the demon lord. It's like,
Well,
sorry,
that could-
Caretaker, I have to bring this with me for a nobler purpose.
Then persuasion with that.
17.
He's convinced. Very well. I suppose unless anything comes, I'll be in here.
Yes.
He gets off the stone barricade and sloshes through the marsh up into the tower. And the rest of you make your way down. Are you continuing to barrage the art?
Barrage the art.
Are you continuing to try and punch thermite grenades into the metal door?
Yes, I will be removing the door from my path.
Okay.
It's like you know someone who can pick locks very well, but
I've never seen you pick a lock.
yes, you have.
Nope. I don't
I'm
think
gu-
we've
I'm
ever
guessing-
encountered a lock.
I'm guessing Caremaxes won't fit through this stairwell.
We did it a bunch in the buildings. Me and you went through it specifically.
Horse-sized?
Yeah.
With the ability to
I don't get
fly, yes.
Huh.
It's tough. It's probably moving at like the half speed, basically.
Kinda
Squeezing, but yeah, you can.
Alright, well, I leave him in the room for now. But just knowing that he can.
As you can look down a ways of because it is a straight staircase down that's just sort of angled away from this tower.
No, if we get down there and it's like hard to squeeze, I'll just take Genji and then let him stay out the top side.
So we're in like a marsh. So if this
And I
was
will
a-
also point out, like in the base of it, like water is still slowly trickling
That's
into
my
all
point.
these
Is we're in a
windows.
marsh though, so eventually, like this whole thing's gonna be
Full of water.
full of water.
Except that the water is going down and is finding an escape.
But that's
under the
my
door.
point. Is it would eventually?
Yeah. So
Because
he's opened the door that was blocking it. Now water is escaping under the metal door that he's.
Because there's windows and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm not terribly concerned about destroying the art that's about to be destroyed by water anyway.
Make another attack.
I hit it. So, do you need to know? I got a 29 on my roll.
I mean, I don't particularly need to know. Oh, you mean your attack
14.
roll? That does
Yeah.
actually matter, but your damage roll, I don't particularly need to.
The tower's what? 50 feet?
Tower's 50 feet, then we hit a big
50 feet tall?
circular room with the door down here.
Uh, 32 damage.
And you're continuing to melt
Natural 20.
through some of the Suvwl die.
Yeah, I got 30. 7, 16, 21, 27, 37, 43, 49.
That's enough that the left side of the face on that door sort of crumbles at parts and peels away in a big chunk, falling down basically on top of you unless you step out of the way. The door behind it still seems untouched.
So the magical thermite's not getting through it?
It's not getting through the door itself, no.
Keep going. 19.
19 hits.
So I don't need to roll damage?
No. You can wear away the rest of the art on it.
Okay, I do that.
But yeah, so you now you've exposed what is a purplish sheened metal on the door.
It's
How big
adamantine?
are the windows?
Adamantine's green.
The windows are like arrow slits?
The sort of they're not yay wide. They're not angled like arrow slits, so they're not really, but they're.
How many windows are there?
There would be 24.
That's a lot of windows. I'm trying to think of a way to block them.
Okay. Now that the door is revealed, I'm going to dispel magic on the door.
Mm-hmm.
And then try to open it.
Dispel magic will need a roll, I believe. Look how dispel magic works.
But I can't think of a way to do it. I mean, I can think of a way, but I don't know if everyone else will like that.
Okay. For each...
Make an ability check using your spellcasting ability.
Wisdom.
How about the lowest windows?
The lowest windows are about 9 feet up from the base.
8. It's
So
plus...
all the water's coming in from above. There's not seeping up from the ground. It's solid stone.
Correct. Solid. Any spot with the actual stone does not appear to be letting anything in. In fact, so much so that, like around the top it wasn't letting it in. Like that part, when the water flows dry, it's only where the windows are.
24.
24. Yeah, so the metal is still purple, but the sheen disappears.
Open door.
It is still physically locked.
Okay. Now, thermite grenades.
You're standing there as he's doing all this.
No, I was up there with him. We were coming down. This would have been still as we're talking to him, because I doubt he's taken minutes in between. He's just, grenade, 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 because everything looks like a nail to Hammer Boy.
I used magic, screw you.
I don't know. It's a big room with artwork, probably clues and a trick to open the door. Immediately just start bombing it.
I'm gonna consider...
I know how David feels at times.
I'm just saying, if you
I have intricately designed a dungeon. My giant jumps down on it. Cannonball.
I'm just saying, if you have a
You
skeleton
break the
key,
first 4 levels of the dungeon.
That's his fault.
if
I
you,
know.
If
That wasn't
you,
what I was trying to do.
if you have a skeleton key, use the skeleton key.
No, you turn it in for the quest reward.
No. Why would you? No.
Yes.
No. You definitely keep the skeleton key. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
no.
Turn it in for the quest reward.
You finish that quest as soon as you no longer want to play the game.
No, lockpicks are useless. They're dime a dozen.
Yeah, but then you have to think about it.
You don't.
And actually play the lockpicking game, or is there auto pick? I forget.
There isn't.
Skyrim does not have autopick.
Unless you play on PC and install the mod that lets you autopick.
Who would play on PC?
Me.
Me.
By the way, most likely, if you go over to Jade Kind Video Gaming, my Skyrim Let's Play is still ongoing, as it has been for years.
So yeah,
I'm nearly done. Nearly done.
Does anybody who's not throwing grenades at a
You can actually make your rolls. It matters now.
Oh,
door mind if I wall of stone us in here?
like just over the top.
14.
Yeah, that's fine. We can break it.
14.
It's like
14 does not
just like we
seem to
can
do any
out.
damage.
So just your
15.
Yeah, we could break it
no.
easily. Any of us could.
Then yeah.
25.
Yes.
That's how I
Hot.
stop. Yes, I use wall of stone and seal off the bottom.
Just curve this in a dome thing. It's like, hopefully my wall of stone's, secure enough to not let water leak through the stonework.
25.
Presumably.
25 is enough that while they're not just like blown in, that you can now spend a minute and like the doors are they're buckled in and they're
I can start kicking the door.
yeah. So as you walk down, you see this rust red kind of metal just in chunks all on the floor
Almost like it's slagged.
around his feet while this door is buckled in and he is kicking through it. There's some water still trickling down and it bursts its way in. And at first, all you see before you is a black void. And there's a light. It's slowly moving. It seems far distant. Just kind of slowly moving around. But there is a ledge outside of the door. It goes out about 3 feet out. And the doors kicked open, block it on either end. But there's just about 3 feet of a stone ledge, a drop, a black void, and one small light.
I pick up a piece of slag.
Okay? And water is like pouring off and falling off to the edge.
Pick up a piece of slag.
Uh-huh.
Cast light on it.
Okay.
Throw light.
Are you just trying to toss it over, or what?
Yeah.
Is the distance less or greater than 120
To what?
feet?
2.
Oh, the void and the light.
I mean, the void theoretically starts about 3 feet away.
The correct question.
The light is well over.
Does 120 foot dark vision help?
No.
Okay.
There, that was
What about
that
your
was
super
the actual
dark vision?
question.
He's got that super dark.
But yeah, that light kind of goes and it falls.
Is it shedding light or does it just disappear?
I mean, it's lit and it lits and falls.
Is the void magical darkness?
No.
So while they're playing with the void, I'm going to look around this room.
Void.
Evidently, there were statues of different gods and other stuff, and probably
The main central point is missing, but there are still reliefs on these columns.
I thought they were
arches.
just windows.
that was up in the tower.
I didn't know there was actually art in there besides this door.
Yeah, you can make a knowledge religion to try and discern.
Oh, right. I failed my knowledge religion. That's why I didn't know what was going on.
19.
Good question. I'll get some of that. While you do not necessarily discern so much as to exactly what they're depicting, you are. It is enough
the
to
characters, the players, like what set of gods.
Yeah, you're able to. Yeah, it is from the Greek pantheon, and is featuring Zeus and. I'm trying to remember. It's Zeus. It's Hades. It's Poseidon.
Then it's his 3 brothers. Yep.
Yeah. That there are the only 3 in that brothers group, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Under the big ones. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is.
They're all related, and then they have children with each other.
Yes. Well, as
you do.
when in Greece.
When in Greece, find a young boy.
I think Aphrodite's not related. She came from a titan.
Kronos.
No,
Unless she came from Zeus.
no. A
She did,
Titan's,
But it's they're the brothers. They're
She
the
did
siblings.
no, a
And as
Titan's
such, yes,
balls
those are the
got
three
cut
that is
off and
depicted.
fell into the
Cro-
water.
Yeah, Kronos.
There's another one where she's the daughter of Zeus.
Yeah, Kronos, Zeus's father.
Yeah, I am not going into their children line with this
Well,
story
that's the
because
point.
then I just have to read the whole list.
In some scenarios, she's a sister, not a daughter.
Okay.
Is the point of that. But it's an ancient myth, so either or. Who knows which one's real? Could be anything.
And
So just
which
their
civilization's
portraits, nothing else
interpretation
I
of
can
her.
figure out, no writing or anything.
No writing. It's all carved depictions.
All bas reliefs.
In 3/4
Here,
carved.
Nexus fits right in with
Yeah.
Bob reliefs.
Bas reliefs.
They're depictions of parts of their tales and story.
Mermaids all over the place, lots of tails. That one seemed to physically hurt you.
I'm fine. It's just my heart.
So yeah, searching there, it's like I asked Bob what the door had on it as I looked into the flag.
It had a covering.
Had stuff.
If you want to be helpful, you could at least say a face.
That's true. It had a face.
All right.
You don't know enough to say whose face.
Next couple hours, get to mending.
Would be one thing if you didn't, have dripping thermite on the metal pile the entire time.
I killed it with magical fire.
So yes, it's like looking around this room. Any other things? It's like
Make an investigation check.
Okay, I give myself guidance.
Look at all this damage to Jen. This was poorly done. This is a... What's the word?
Smash and grab.
20.
Maybe. Not
Also, I
not
now
a
have guidance for
disappointment.
myself.
Nothing that seems
boondoggle?
incredibly.
Yeah, we'll feel that. It's
You
a
know,
boondoggle.
one thing of note is that it seems that the construction for this stairway that seems to be leading away from that tower is a different construction than the tower itself. As if one of them were added to the other.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the regular looking tower was added to the freaky stairs and the void.
Investigation's annoying.
Don't investigate. Make wild assumptions.
The other three of you all down staring at this void?
No, I'm going into the void. With more light.
Okay, so you're, jumping off the edge?
I don't see why not. I could run down and then fall the rest of the way. Yeah, I'll run down and fall the rest of the way.
I was thinking about busting out my proton pack.
So
Well,
I'm running
he's
down
going
the wall.
in, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have 110 feet of travel.
Okay, what wall?
There is... Okay, so you exit through the door and then there's nothing?
Through
turn
the door,
around.
there is 3 feet and then a drop.
Okay, so what's that attached to? Is there a
you
wall
down, you don't
that
don't see anything down.
So the door's not set in a wall.
It's in a void. It's a floating door in a void.
the door, the 3 feet, because the doors are more than 3 feet wide on each end, but there is like this little ledge because that 3 feet does go under the door, but the doors are obscuring it while they're open, so you could not see what's on the other end.
Okay, so if I go through the door, turn around and look up, there's no wall there.
There is wall on the. If you look up, if you're getting that 3 feet and you're looking up, yes.
Okay, so when I close one of the doors and look off to the side, there's no wall there.
Okay, so you close it, and the railing or the ledge continues around, sort of. Which, do you close the left or the right door?
Dun, dun, dun.
Left, obviously.
Okay. The ledge kind of spirals slowly up and around the outside of a large.
So there is wall.
Yes.
But
Okay.
not necessarily a wall beneath.
So then I close I open up that door and I close the other door.
And that one would slowly spiral around downward.
Okay, so you know how there's a ledge and then the ledge goes like this?
Mhm.
I tap that. Is there a wall?
Down below?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a ledge.
Yes, you're on a ledge.
And then there's I imagine it's not just a paper thin waif.
Yeah, there. You're like you're getting down on you're going prone and you're reaching down to the side. Yeah, you can reach down and it's probably about maybe a little over a foot, and that ledge then goes underneath. It's an undercut.
Okay, is there still wall under the bottom side of it, or is it void?
You can you feel the bottom of whatever the structure is.
Okay, so now I hang off the ledge and feel the wall on that side.
And looking from going around it, so it is a 3-foot ledge out from a tower. So it's then 3 foot of upside down before you can get to the tower.
Okay, so there's wall there, though.
Yes. He's up here. There's a wall here.
Yes.
There we go.
You cannot just step off onto it because it's 3 foot undercut.
You'd have to.
I grab onto the wall and just swing over and walk down the wall.
Okay. And from all you can tell, it's just straight down
How far
until however far your dark vision can see.
Well, how far does the light he threw go?
The light you threw, you do not see down below you anymore.
Okay, well, I have light on me now, and I have 110 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a ledge that I run into, or
no?
Okay, then I'm falling.
You're running down a wall over multiple rounds.
Well, that's the
Well,
point.
he has to end on something flat.
Yeah, if I don't end, I fall.
You got 100 foot movement, right?
I have a 110 foot movement.
So once you make it 50 feet, you are probably smart enough to think, maybe I should go back.
Well, actually, what I could do is bonus action dash and do another another 60 feet or so.
Those are options. The point is, you know how far you can move. If you get there and don't see anything flat, you could just turn back and not fall to presumably maybe your death.
Also, you have a broom of flying.
Yeah, that's true. I do have a broom of flying.
This encounter is so much more fun if you don't fly.
Okay.
It's a good thing you specified that our flying mounts can get down this
You try to be
stairwell.
helpful.
That's helpful that you specified they can make it.
But they can. Just because I don't want you using them doesn't mean I'm going to change my world to keep you from using them.
Okay, so I use my broom of flying and I go down the rest of the way then.
Okay. So while he's doing that,
48 hours later, still going down. It's a void of infinite depth.
Well, we know what stars are, right? Like,
yes,
you can see them through the domes.
Mm.
So if this was the bottom of our platform and there was stars, we'd recognize that, right?
that would be a point. There isn't a field of stars, but once you're down from that viewpoint and going down, you do see an occasional other just point of light, much like a star, slowly rotating.
Okay.
You can see a second one. This one's orange.
Neat.
So he's jumped over the ledge.
Well.
So I
I
go.
get Kira Maxes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think how I'm going to do this is I'm holding onto my broom and I go 100 feet and then jump on the broom.
Okay.
And then I go 100 feet and jump on the broom. Because I can go faster that way. The broom has a 40-foot movement speed. I have 110.
And you can also run down the side of the building faster than you can fall. Because I think that's only a 60-foot movement while falling.
That is stupid.
I'm a monk!
He's using friction of the wall to push himself down faster.
Suddenly, the floor is coming at you quick. No, it's not. I lied.
That's fine. It still has to do more
but
than
yeah,
50
you only-
damage.
Yeah,
to
so
take
you have
damage.
about 10 rounds of that before something changes. So,
Okay.
what were you guys?
I come out, look, see the stairs up and down. It's like, okay.
It's not stairs, it's like a ramp.
Yeah, it's like a ramp. It's like winding. It's this at a slight angle.
Well,
It's handicap accessible.
yeah.
Except it's 3 foot and no railings.
Yeah. Well, I say...
Didn't
I'm
say
gonna
OSHA
pick up.
approved. I said handicap.
So
Well, not really, because a handicapped person could not get out of the door and turn and get the door shut to move either direction.
You know, they're... Sure they can. I believe in them.
Not safely.
There's no railing. This is not OSHA approved. We've been over this.
So what were you working on?
I guess I'll call Genji down since I need something to be able to fly around in there.
And he was just sitting at the base thing up below his seal. Okay.
He was just
Yeah.
up top.
I start walking up the ramp.
Okay.
I'm seeing if we're working with, Euclidean geometry.
As you start walking up, you can start seeing. You see like a blue point that's.
Before he leaves, I give him a token.
Yeah.
So you went.
How
I
many
went
of those you
down,
got?
and you
That's
went
my
up.
last one.
Okay.
I had 4. The answer was 4. I had 4.
Okay. It's rotating, but this one had a bit of an angle up almost.
This leaves me with 1, and he has my last one.
But I'm seeing if where the ground should be, I eventually run into ground, or if we're in someplace that is not the same bubble.
No, ground should be here.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ground is
This
missing in
math
this
doesn't
space.
work.
Yes.
Yep. Non-Euclidean geometry. Just as I suspected.
So you're investigating that. You find yourself at a point where this stone structure is crumbled and broken. And it just stops with blackness below.
I'm waiting for 10 minutes.
Drop something with light on it.
It goes
Out
into where it gets far enough that you can no longer see it.
Well, while I'm waiting for Genji to get down here, I pull out the proton.
That takes a round.
Okay. So Genji's down
Genji's
here.
not that far away.
I pull out the proton pack,
Mhm.
and I want to use the magnification thing on it to see if I can determine if this is like a portal entrance.
Okay.
Oh, this door is a portal entrance.
But yeah.
Store's not. You see him checking that.
Mm-hmm. Wait. I'm already walking up. I just...
Okay, no, you don't see him checking that. Never mind.
I see him checking that.
Yeah.
The difference between you and him is your intelligence is 11.
Yes.
His is 20. He would get more information from that.
Okay, so there's just Stygian blackness beneath me.
Mm-hmm.
In the void.
Drop a rope into it.
It falls. You didn't secure the end.
Pull it out.
Seems legit.
Anything on it?
No.
Go into the Stygian blackness.
Is there
But
a
I'm
limit
just-
on how long the broom can fly? Okay, I was going to say, is that one of the ones that limits you on that?
No, those
That's
are
the
boots.
boots.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Because the boots give you your movement. For like 10 minutes. No, it's 400 feet or something. I don't know, it's something weird.
There's an actual time limit. I was just going to say that the only thing is you got to make sure you go up and down very straight or you lose the tower and be just lost in Stygian darkness forever.
I'm sure it's fine.
What could possibly go wrong?
I mean, it's only technically safe if we're in another dimension and you can banish yourself back to the material
I have a
plane.
proton pack. If I'm not in another dimension, I can put myself in another dimension and then banish myself to the material plane.
Here's the thing. In all my experiments, I never found a setting that just opens a random portal, did I?
No.
Yeah.
There is one.
It widens portals.
Yeah.
Doesn't open.
It does not rip open reality.
You need it. You need something to start with.
Oh well, if I die, I die.
I was just making sure it wasn't through stupidity.
You know what, Bob? Eric's
You would
proud
be
of
smart
you.
enough to figure out
That's a good
that
spirit
those
invention
points
there.
of light can be seen from great distance, and that they're orbiting this tower. So they could be used as the point to find the tower.
Ah, okay. So those points of light, I also see are moving in predictable
so-
pattern.
Yeah,
Okay.
two of them are slate. One of them is orbiting at an angular orbit, but yeah.
So, after going up for like a minute and a half, do I think it's still just going up?
After going up for about 45 seconds, you find another door. You've also seen several more points of light. The point where you've gone all the way around the tower, you've managed to spot that in total there are 20.
Lights or doors?
Lights.
Top of my head, I have history. How many islands?
Oh wow, 20. That's an amazing coincidence.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a coincidence.
Guidance and what's astrophysics to know that the islands all rotate around a singular point in space?
Arcana?
Okay. 12, 25?
They don't.
Okay. So not necessarily the islands, but is may or may not be a coincidence.
While they're not all angled to be such a perfect thing, while that has been adjusted, they are actually they're orbiting the sun in a cluster, like a shattered planet in a cluster, and they are actually arranged in similar fashion in sort of a cluster in space orbiting together. So they orbit as one large group.
Okay, so it's an asteroid field that still has an orbit.
Yeah.
Versus there's not a sun or something in the middle that they're orbiting around.
Yeah, they are orbiting a sun, although the domes themselves manipulate the way that the light works to be as if it were when it was whole.
Wait, is the sun here and the fragments are just going around like that, and not the sun's in the middle of the fragments?
Correct, yeah. They're all going around the sun as a group.
No, not broken inside.
It's like one of those part burst manuals. You got the planet's been...
Yeah. But, arcane check to, of the fragments still, they rotate around something in the center of them. Or are they just stationary to each other?
They're more or less stationary.
Okay.
Some of them probably have some level of movement within it, but yeah, there's nothing
Big.
with that, yeah.
Okay. Quick adjustments. How many is there? Freaking 60 portals, or how many portals are there overall? Is it 3 per island? But there would be some overlap.
Sort of. I don't know if I have an exact group, because each island has 3, except the desert has 4, and bless you. And this one has a portal that leads to itself, and that counts only as 1, so it technically also has 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's not unique detail. You can just count it from the book.
But mostly, I do not think these would necessarily correspond to the number of god portals.
No. Yeah, there's definitely more portals than there are fragments.
Okay. But see a door. I'll go back down and let them know about the door. Ask if they figured anything out.
Nope. We figured out this is not a portal to another dimension.
Or at least we
What's that?
think
That
so.
door there.
When I tried using the locate portal thing, it didn't seem to react.
I'll double check your findings and shrink row, not a portal.
Not this one.
Step in, use shrink row, and look at one of the lights.
Yeah, they're confusing. But not this door, isn't? But what door was weird?
I will go to where the bricks change.
Yeah, if you go to the top, where the tower meets this, that is... It is, in fact, one of the terraformed portals that has... It does not appear to be torn, but rather cut. It appears very carefully matched and taken to align these, as if careful work has been done by it.
take an Arcana check of my portal knowledge of how one would be able to manipulate portals better with guidance. 19, 21, 32.
32?
No, 34.
So, yeah, I mean, it's essentially going to be the same technology that you have with this. In all theory, this is a design aimed for range. If the same technology were put into something that is much closer and therefore wouldn't work for quite as many things, you could definitely get a precision tool out of it. In fact, you think about it, and the malfunctions based on what happened to the actual end of the portal device when it was in the digestive system of Tyrannosaurus Rex seemed to be causing something that worked in an unusual way. It's the same technology functioning in a slightly different way as the device that produces it was altered.
So theoretically, we have a bunch of packs, and we may be able to take tinkering and modify them for different uses, such as precision manipulation of portal tears versus just open and closing. Gotcha. But none of my stuff has a reading on
It would still need a tear.
Yes. Can't open them, but can manipulate. None of my technology can tell me which dimension we're in, do they?
I do not believe so.
But we do know if we have the feeling if we're in a godly realm?
Yes, this does not appear to be that.
Okay. So it's definitely not one of those tears to a godly realm like the spider webs or...
The spider webs that didn't lead into...
I thought that was a different type of portal that was shimmery and felt more godly realmish.
That was a naturally occurring portal.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to one that any of the ones that have been torn, really that you know, have been caused from
The cards,
the deck.
probably. We're still running on that's an assumption that we're making.
Yeah.
We have not played with the cards again to tear another portal.
How boring.
Well, the problem with that is the chance of losing the deck to the enemy and not getting it back.
But you've increased the odds of keeping it yourself.
Yeah,
we
but if we
doubled
don't,
it.
Yeah. Yes, we are at double versus their theoretical one, but it's like we can increase those even greater by not using it and not sending it any place, thereby hamstringing their organization. But yes, okay, so we're in a different universe, so go back out with that knowledge. Like, do we want to, well, first ask someone to call Bob on his new phone.
I'm sorry, I was going to make up your ringtone, but your phone goes... You haven't had time to set it yet.
Excellent
Yes.
reception.
Service here?
Okay.
It's service? Man, $3.
Yeah, no. One, that's pretty cool. Arcane check to know if that works on different planes.
Yeah.
Okay, that
The
just-
phone systems have obviously been developed with the idea that we're traveling through portals, and yeah.
Okay. Well, one, checking...
Hold on, I'm going through a tunnel. Wah.
checking if you're okay and if you have found anything yet.
Stygian darkness.
Well, that's not very helpful. I found a door that we probably want to check up if you come back up.
Okay. Did I actually make it into the Stygian darkness?
Is Stygian darkness... Are you thinking like a physical thing?
No, I'm thinking like I can't see.
Yeah.
I mean,
black
eventually
all
you
around.
can you can always still see those points of light, and actually from far enough down you can see all 20 of them circling this central point, probably past the point where your dark vision is beyond the point of being able to see the tower.
Okay, I go back up.
Yeah, but at any distance you're able to see those points of light.
Do I find the wall again? Okay, well I travel up the same way I traveled down.
Okay. So it takes him another 10 or whatever minutes to get back to you.
Mm-hmm.
As he's
This one's more legwork.
I had to wait 10 minutes to make the stone wall permanent.
okay.
As I just come scrabbling over the ledge.
Also,
like some
after what Bob
jack-o'-lantern.
told us, like, I don't think we're going to flood the infinite darkness void.
Well, it's already permanent, so...
Well, the
Well-
bigger issue is that
We could
You know,
You
drain
could
that
drain
lake.
the swamp.
yeah, there won't be any more. We'll turn it into a desert.
You could do that. It would be very slow, but
It's kind of like when you take the never-ending jug of water and you start pouring it into the Underdark.
You
Because
just leave
you're
that
just
somewhere.
you're just evil and you've collected as many as you can because screw those dark-skinned drows. I'm gonna drown the Underdark.
Eventually, it would work.
no, because at the bottom of the Underdark is a never-ending portal.
Ah, of course.
Then how is the world not drained of water? Is it because there's a lot of evil people out there who think it's really funny to set up ever full urns?
There are enough portals to the plane of water throughout the world where it just doesn't matter.
Balance. Yeah.
It's weird not working in a closed system.
Yeah.
A lot of assumptions no longer exist.
What are you working on while you're...
Well, I messed with that, and he found the actual portal entrance that we've gotten in here. What else is around?
There's the lights, there's that. I mean, there's the walkway after the door you found did continue to go up.
Mhm.
You can see that probably some half, maybe a little further rotation around a much wider tower. Probably around... This tower that you're running up down, probably around 150 feet in diameter. About half or whatever rotation around the ledge does just stop. So it doesn't make a full rotation around again. Although the one above does rotate around multiple times.
So wait, there's an entire another tower, or
No.
Okay, you confused me there.
There is the word helix spiral
Yeah.
that goes, that your door is in, and it goes partway around to go, and then just ends, and it goes several times more up above.
Okay. So there's just a lot of tower down that doesn't have the spiraling walkway. Gotcha.
You will also notice, I guess, as you're coming back up from the bottom, where the stone just crumbled and broke away, that it's open on the inside.
Oh, the stone, the out wall is like a hollow?
Yeah, the walls for it, at least at the bottom, is open.
Look in.
And it goes above... What's your dark vision?
Standard elf.
60?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's easily above what you can see. It goes up into the darkness.
I can peek in.
This is from the bottom of the tower.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I go back up and
Okay.
I inform the smart people that the tower is hollow. I guess I should say the walls have hollow spaces. The tower obviously is hollow because we can move through it.
Inside the tower is nothing but empty space. We know.
Yeah.
That's how we...
Yeah.
do it.
It's like we're
It's not
literally standing in the hollow.
Yeah.
Well spotted. It is indeed a building as opposed to a mountain.
The portals that connect the different fragments.
Mhm.
Are we aware which godly realms that those pass through?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well documented.
It's all cataloged.
Where is Hades? Or which portal would we have to go through to visit him if we wanted to?
Also, I'm guessing people don't just go visit the gods while traipsing along these roads.
Traditionally not.
No.
Spending time...
Remember, this is the fun suicide.
Yeah, basically you can end up passing on, and you're still just continuing in a plane if you remain there for more than a full day. That's just one way to die, is you've just moved on to the afterlife and decided to stay there.
You physically walk to the afterlife. It's like, yeah, this place is cool. I'm gonna hang out.
The underworld. The Dwarf Mountain connects to the Bleeding Titan through the underworld.
Bleeding Titan?
Volcano.
Volcano.
I think it was like that in the mini malls and the Jasper Force that I got my names through on.
Yeah, the mini-moss connects through Moonmire through the underworld.
Yeah, we've personally gone through Hades already.
Yeah,
Or,
that's that point. Remember where you were on the edge? There was the Spectre of Death. You gave him a coin.
yeah. Chernabog. It's like, don't call interacting with Chernabog.
Chiron.
Chiron?
Yeah,
Chernabog's
Chernabog
a
is
sword.
No,
Chernabog-
Chernabog's the evil god of...
The New Fair Expanse connects the Frost Rain to the
it's
underworld.
the Slavic god of darkness, not necessarily evil.
Yes.
The Spotted Hills connects to itself from downstream to upstream through the underworld.
Hey, Nick, it's the laziest river.
Well, the question is...
And then all of them backwards the other way, of course. But other than that, yeah, that's
Right.
Yes, as long as that lazy... I don't know, I'm not much for rafting, though.
No, of course not. That would require any effort at all.
More about, nature and outside.
Yeah, god of bad fate.
Not necessarily evil.
Well, yeah, considering he's from one of the regions that got Christianized pretty early on, we're gonna this may or may not have happened.
Yes.
Is our records of this divorce correct? Maybe.
We whack-a-mole that god stuff really hard.
Like, darkness. Darkness is not necessarily evil. It's just the absence of light.
Bad fate might be evil. Being the god of chaos and misfortune, maybe.
Yes, but it's kind of like that saying, sometimes what goes around comes around, and sometimes you are what comes around.
Just, sometimes bad things happen. There had to be a god for this. Else,
I
why
don't know
would bad things...
what started the conversation here.
Chernabog, me,
Oh.
misremembering Chiron?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you were listening to Kate Daniels' books recently.
Bashaba, that's who it is.
Oh,
And
well, if
Forgotten
you ever
Books.
listen to the Kate Daniels books, Chernabog has a big part in that because one of the characters is a priest of Chernabog.
Mhm.
And he's like, I wish you guys would stop calling him evil. He's not evil, he's just darkness. Isn't that
And
kind
also
of a bad...
maybe evil.
Isn't that kind of a bad thing? I mean, no.
And also maybe evil. It's an
You
ancient
like
god.
sleeping during the day? Don't think so. Darkness isn't so bad sometimes.
It all depends on his interpretation.
Yeah.
He also wears Eeyore pajamas and gets made fun of, and he goes, I am the priest of a dark deity. That doesn't mean I can't like things.
You were drawing stuff.
Yeah, I'm
We
doing
made
my own
fun of
notes while you guys are trying to figure out what you're doing, and you're...
stuff. Oh, I thought you were drawing that for us, not for
No,
you.
that's for me.
Oh. thought
I
you
have
already
decided
had
at this point that you are probably spending more than one session exploring my oddity.
Oh.
Don't
Well.
put those in our way.
Go up to the next door.
You go to the door up.
Yes.
Okay.
And we open that door.
I assumed you were working on something, and we needed to leave you
Unless it's
alone
locked.
whilst you do that.
Well, if
And
it's
it
locked,
is
I can
locked.
unlock it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there holding grenade.
And you watch him as he picks the lock.
So slow.
I believe it's going to be substantially faster than what you did.
Yeah. So 7, 2,
In my defense, there was a magical purple door.
17 plus 8 plus 5. 30.
Yeah. So in 6 seconds he pops open, and as it opens, it does have that layer on the middle of this one. It is also that magical purple layer. It's in the middle, and it just pops right open.
Do you
6
know what
seconds.
the magical purple door stuff is? Is it worth taking?
Like this actual purple field hovering here?
No, like the purple that I exposed on the other door.
Yeah, it's a purple metal with an enchanted sheen. Is the
No.
core of the door.
Does the enchanted chain swing, or is it over the portal itself?
No, it swings. It's on the door.
Okay. Then, yes. If we want
Remember,
I can
down
take-
below when you checked that door, that was not the one that was a portal.
Yeah, no, portal meaning the opening. I did not
Okay.
know if there was like a sheet in the doorway.
Mm-mm.
It's actually part of the door.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, we could sit 10 minutes and I could cast Detect Magic, or we can look at this room first.
This room is a library. And the immediate notice is just cobwebs and dust across everything.
So theoretically, this had exposure to the outside world then.
And there are... It is the whole 150-foot diameter.
So whole enter tower.
And it is just the center of it. And in the center of the room is a series of stuffed like trophies, bears,
Ooh.
Taxidermy.
some sort of large. Oh my! Yes, exactly, taxidermy. Large elk, some sort of strange reptilian thing. It's a drake, and that are all sort of on like this decorative thing that looks like it once held beautiful plants, but are all wilted and dead.
Yes.
And around that are benches with occasional tables, to which seems like a spot where you could set up things to study. In fact, there are books left sitting on those tables, besides the thousands around the outside.
Let's go check the
Most open. Few of them have bars, across them, barring the books into the shelves.
I just had a moment of inspiration. I want to take a knowledge arcana check with guidance. With what I realize about the portal guns, how they can manipulate portals, do I think I could devise a device that would be able to shrink a portal, then move the portal itself through our space to relocate it? So 18... 13, so 31.
Okay, so you're talking about taking a portal and moving it.
Yes.
With 31. Yes, you can move a portal. You could take a portal and you could tear it open to a new spot, and then close the other spot, leaving the newer spot. However, you also know that wherever it connects is going to be relative to that in the corresponding world.
Yeah.
So that if you're talking about the portal with that door that is deep underground in this strange tower that happened to be, for some reason, sunk into the ground and secured in such a way that it would preserve an opening deliberately in the middle of this marsh, far from anything.
I do not think
Do you think if you moved it over there, you would probably just open a portal into the earth? Well below the marsh. Because you do not believe that there would therefore be another coincidental opening under the ground there.
Oh, no. Not that. The other way around. If
What?
I was go back to the material plane, shrink that portal, and drag it with me, as if I were to say, bring it back to Giant's Bay, put it in my closet, and now I have
You
this
do not
giant
believe
tower.
that you could get it into through another portal.
Okay, I don't think I
Can
can drag it through the
move
gallery.
one side of a portal without moving the other.
No.
Okay. I also can't steal this mystical plane and use it as my own new house.
Unless you want to move to the middle of a marsh.
Seems legit.
Yeah. No Uber out here or, DoorDash.
Are the books readable?
Which
and
What
you
do you
could
think?
get it to Giant's Bay, but
The
you
ones
wouldn't
on
be
the
able to
table
go
that are
through the
open.
portals. You'd have to go the other way.
In space, yeah.
Do they have readable language?
if you just look at one of the ones that's sort of closed and sitting there, first one you see is a reddened leather with gold engraving on it. Usings into arcane powers.
What language is it written in?
Written in common.
Elvish?
Elvish.
Orcish?
No, common, the middle language.
It would be
between-
Elvish.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so it's not some crazy obscure language we don't know.
Does it seem... It's like, after I get over that, I'll check a couple books. Does it seem any, a very old dialect? Or Is Elvish one of those things that's really weird because elves live forever?
Elvish is old.
Yeah.
I look at
Elvish is the tongue from which others have likely derived.
I look at the books that are locked up, presumably for tax fraud.
Just a bar with a lock on it to prevent someone that just walks through and
Remove bar.
yeah. You just
Guidance.
you have him. You go over as he's.
Yes.
You start
yeah,
rattling the
I'm
bar.
just-
He quickly runs over. I got it.
I'm looking at him, thermite grenade, one hand, the other, just...
Do I get rid of the books, or do you let me get to the book?
No, by all means. You open that bar with a thermite grenade and see how it works out.
Yes.
Probably great, as long as we don't consider... As long as we
25.
consider the books completely
25 is
explainable.
enough. Yeah, you can pop the lock in. So one shelf, and there are about a dozen that are barred. But
checked-
one shelf that has, say,
I
20
checked
books.
the forbidden books.
You pull one out, flip it open, and this one does not seem readable. This one is drawing
In Sylvan?
No, drawings and markings, strange geometric patterns.
I am
there
trained
are-
in calligraphy.
There are graphs that show things. I mean, is that's some sort of feather, or is that bat guano? So, some things that you would recognize enough to be.
Welcome to the wizard books in the world with no wizards.
Oh, wizard books.
Yeah.
Neat.
They're spell books.
I'm going to save them. I call Ryan. I'm like, this magic books for... I don't know. I give them to
You don't
him.
recognize what a wizard's book would be.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I know that he does magic that I don't get.
Yeah.
I give them to Ryan. I'm like, look at this.
It's like, I also looked over his shoulder with all my arcana. Probably didn't make heads or tails of it.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely discern some of the things that are depicting arcane, like magic components for
Formulas,
spells.
yeah.
It's like...
I mean, you're familiar with the concept of a scroll being a thing, but as far as the way that these are cataloged, it's obtusely complex. I mean, what would normally you'd bother to do in a short one page, it seems that they've gone over pages and pages in order to fill this out.
And also, these
It's-
formulas are all wrong. This is not how magic works.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, this has been studied and cataloged for centuries. We know it doesn't work this way. That's
so-
ridiculous.
Or maybe we could give this off to somebody to relearn magic.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and look through the rest of the tax fraud books.
You take some time, and you open the rest of the rocks, and it seems that there are probably about 120 books just full of these.
Ryan, are you willing to take 120 spell books?
No.
Because
Are you
to
willing
us,
to
they
take,
seem
like, 10
useless.
spell books?
Why?
For reasons.
No.
It's like you can't find a buyer.
You, as a player, know what these are. Your characters have no concept for what these are.
These are
They
a whole
were
bunch of
locked
ramblings of a madman.
Okay.
Of an arcane madman.
Yeah, that'd be fine if there was one, or maybe two. There's 150 of them.
120.
120.
Whatever.
Is there an exit to this library?
Just the one you came in.
Alright, so it's a sealed room.
And it takes up the entire tower. That we know it's spatial.
Hmm.
I will while Bob's trying to figure out spell books and how he can make money off of them, which it's not.
That's not what I'm doing at all.
Yeah.
Good guess, though.
Belongs in a museum.
Trying to become a wizard.
Yeah.
Nick, you can't just destroy everything you see. Sometimes you have to preserve knowledge and art.
Enjoy irony.
Yes,
Which is the opposite of wrinkly.
Hmm.
Yes, but I'll spend time looking over the taxidermy.
Well, I wanted to look and see if there are any books about our enemies.
Who are your enemies?
We got a lot of enemies.
Well, it'd be the Elder God and the Demon Lord.
Charcoal knives.
Make an investigation check.
Right. 16.
I mean,
Nothing with
Go.
Charles Max on the spine.
Yeah, I mean, there are thousands of books in this room.
Try alphabetically.
I could take long.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's
It's
whatever
like,
it's gonna be. It's gonna be a while.
I figure we can come back to this and we should explore up the tower a little more. Make sure there's nothing else.
I thought it
Relock
was
this
the
door.
top.
No.
There was one bit below, but after the one that went up, it kept spiraling up.
Yeah, we haven't explored all the way up. It's like nothing of danger in here. Good place to come back to, but we still have more exploring to do.
I'm taking 10 of the spell books.
Exploring to do? You
Yeah.
mean in the other parts of the
They're
tower?
not spell books. You're
Yeah,
taking
there-
3
there's more up.
gibberish books.
I'm taking 10 of the books.
10
that are
gibberish
gibberish
books.
books.
We're not
Whatever.
under
I'm still
any sort of
taking
gun right now. We can.
You are
take our
free
time.
to.
Except we are under a gun. They're trying to revive the pit lord and destroy the
Man,
planet.
you know that's never going to happen.
Yeah, but we've got the thing that they.
He already did it once.
Yeah, but
The gods mulligan.
how could they possibly do it twice? I mean, what's the chances of that? Basically 0.
They basically destroyed an entire island, almost,
What do you mean?
with dinosaurs and stuff.
Oh yeah, you're counting that one. You're not counting the other one that they.
Oh, that they did completely block off.
Because it would be something that you would probably be.
Yeah, it's like these are not random snake cultists that just pop up everywhere. These guys are a legitimate threat.
Don't we have
yeah.
the deck of
Jotunheim
many things?
is a great lake that lies between bases of 2 mountains. Was recently home to a village of sea elves and outdoorsman tourism. However, it was lost to foul beasts a couple years ago, and the island has since been abandoned.
We need to go check that place out. Sounds pretty rad.
We don't need to go to Isla Sorna. Or Isla Nubar.
But we do have the deck of many things, right?
Yes, currently, unless it's shifted away from us.
I already checked.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, they can still do other stuff. Like this was just a terror attack to distract people.
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, we still have time to investigate this.
Yes. I'm just saying we can investigate the rest of the tower, then come back at the end and investigate this a whole
Or
bunch
we can
more.
investigate the rest of the tower and then get locked out forever. And not be able to investigate this at all.
Seems
Okay.
unlikely, but maybe.
So we're going on video game logic that there's a cliff somewhere in here that if you fall off, you can't go back and explore the things you've seen.
I played
You've jumped
Battletoads.
down. You can't get back. I have a broom of flying. You can't get back up that cliff. It's really unfortunate, isn't it?
I've played Battletoads.
You have soft locked yourself. Sorry.
You've moved on. The next part of the plot is here.
Yeah, don't screw up that jump.
Yep, just an NPC that gets in our way and we can't walk past him and he repeats the same line.
You need to
Okay.
gather a sword and shield before you can move.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep checking out the library.
Okay. No, you could knock out, close the door, and keep going if you wanted.
Yeah, well, I'll go up to the next one.
I'm with them.
Mhm.
So you three are staying in the library?
I'm with him.
Oh, you're with him. Okay, so you two are in the library.
Mm-hmm.
You're just working your way around. Are you just focusing on these books? Just
Oh no, I've taken 10. I
Okay.
will study them at a later point, which I'm not good at, but I'm going to study them later.
what else are you looking at then?
I'm looking for historical texts.
As you go through, you do notice that most of it is Elvish. There's another. There are sections, a couple sections, but also occasionally books mixed in. From at least the cover, titles are in a other language that you don't recognize. Is squared off, very blocky, very.
I'm going to be taking them.
And you pull one out, and it's just through very angular, detailed writing, not the elegance of the Elvish script that you know.
Or whatever weird orcish is at this point.
Yeah.
It's not Sylvan either.
Nope.
Because I have Sylvan. Because chirpy chirp chirp chirp.
I forget. Is it comprehend languages or... Yeah, comprehend languages.
I have
is written.
tongues. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
have comprehend languages. I could ask for divine intervention.
Oh, you got Godphone?
No, it's just a cleric thing at level 10, which
Yeah.
I have a 10% chance of the gods going, okay, we'll just fix whatever problem you're having.
Yeah, no, Godphone. Sometimes you call up God, then he says, okay, don't call me back for like 7 days.
No, only if he helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes he doesn't answer. Sometimes he says, okay, but don't call me.
Yeah, you can go for the oh shit reset button.
Well, I mean, I only have a 10% chance of it succeeding, so...
Sure.
Is that a ritual that takes time, or is it just...
I believe it's an action.
Yeah, divine intervention's like an action you can take on
Okay.
your turn.
So you're trying to... Are you asking for something?
No, I wasn't going to ask God to fix my... Yeah, sure. I go, I can't read this, God. Fix that for me.
Wow. God fixes it for you.
Okay, first off... Fine, but don't call me.
That's 1%.
Yeah. By the way, it's the ability that there's no downside for a day where you use it and it isn't responded to.
Yeah.
So you could really just use it every day until
Until God answers. Like,
yeah. There's no
expect to get languages.
but we'll get to you in a moment while they're going up. So
I
another
can't read these. Help me read them.
around half turn up the tower and you guys find another door and it carries on.
Okay. You stand in front. I'll check if it's locked.
It is.
Unlock it. Guidance. Now, as long as I keep this in my hand when I shake these, have I cast guidance, or do I need to say guidance before every roll?
You have to say guidance before every roll.
Try and say guidance, but as long as you like pick it up, because ultimately it also remember guidance has to be a check that it's within a minute or less, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are plenty of things
So,
that
I'm
doesn't
getting ready.
apply for, but yeah.
Yeah.
But for someone like this that takes around, yeah, you can.
9 plus 13, so
Yeah.
22.
There
22
is
does
a
not open that
commune
lock.
of academic scholarship, learning, and intelligentsia.
Okay, in that case, we'll move on. I'll come back down later when if I spend some more magic to retry it.
Okay. And we'll move on until you get to another door. You're continuing to look for things relevant to Elder God, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Also, between the first two sections, did the roofs match up to the floor?
What do you mean?
Was the top of this
Yeah, I knew that
room
was
the
somewhere.
bottom of the next?
There seems to probably be some space where there would be room
from
for
3.5,
gap,
which gave
but
us
not
all the
necessarily
languages in
so
their
much
alphabets.
as enough gap
Because
for
like no
a
one
full
uses the
room.
dwarven.
Okay, so it's not just like a
Yeah,
couple feet
dwarven.
of stone, I would think there, but there's
Yeah, it's
maybe
probably
a dead space.
yeah. There's probably a dead space in there, but probably would be less than 5 or 6 feet
So
of
like,
dead
can you
space.
speak dwarven? No, but I can read some of the letters.
Yeah. I knew that was a thing.
What?
We had an example of languages and the alphabets they used, or were derived from 3.5.
Trying to think if 5 has it also.
I don't think so. I don't remember being in the 5th edition book. Oh, we do
5th
have-
edition has the actual script corresponding to letters.
Ah.
Also meaning all script is...
All languages are the same, yeah.
Yeah, all languages are
it's
26
because
space.
it is designed for the purpose of being able to make ciphers
Yeah.
that you can hand to your players, and yeah, that is the reason for that.
It's like, okay, here's what everyone else gets. You, who can speak Dwarven, just get this. It is written.
And for you, as you ask for that, you notice a short, bearded man walking in the door. Someone you've not seen before.
Hello, little orc.
He's talking to someone he's just talking, you're in the room.
Who's there?
And he speaks something to you in a language you do not understand.
I don't understand you.
That's his response to...
I guess I cast tongues.
Been so long. Gone so long. And the dwarf walks over, flips through a couple of the books on the table, Where has she left things? Perhaps there. And points as if unable to see you, but right through you and walking straight in your direction.
I get out of his way and look where he is pointing.
No. Over here, turns, walking towards you again.
Do I see you?
You do not. Well, you see him kind of dancing around the...
I let him run into me?
Yeah.
And as he walks into you, you just feel like... You see all of a sudden like a cloud of dust roll off of him from nothing.
Off of...
Yeah.
Ren.
And,
I'm having a religious experience. Leave me alone.
and you can understand the script. You can add Dwarvish to your language.
That's what the point. Orc is derived from Dwarvish script.
Mhm.
So Orc languages, that would look like a weird derivation of Orc. If you saw Dwarvish script.
Yeah, there's another
other
division
worlds,
in
yeah.
time,
Yeah.
so yeah, not in this case.
Okay, so...
In fact, Orc in this case would be a lot similar to Elvish because of the...
So I start reading the books.
I mean, it's a lot more... essentially, you gather quickly from looking through some of them, they're just continued on sections from many of the other books. Histories from worlds before. One of the things that you notice reading through some of these is that every assumption in this, in this grouping of books that you're at right here, seems to be under the assumption that the planet is one solid sphere. This is all before the world was destroyed.
I explained that to
Rin.
Oh, well, we knew that. We had...
Yeah, I know these are... I know that we're aware that the world was once one.
Yeah.
These are all books written from that time.
Oh, okay.
Is the important piece of information.
You find interesting section on the mini Mars was...
That's true. We got flat earthers, so there's probably people on our little world here who are completely please, that's ridiculous. We were always islands. One giant mass, what would that make us? Just a rock hurtling through space? No.
Where would
it's
the
obviously-
portals lead?
Yeah, where the portals go.
Probably of the most interesting concept within that is you find areas detailing worlds and maps. Further detail on the Iron River, where it meets the Alcorn Sea, which are terms that are known because that is to orcs of great, importance to their history. But you can actually see, a map that actually traces the whole route of the Iron River, which your entire life you have only known as the Iron River Delta. The very end where it meets the sea is all that exists. You can see the map where it's...
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start saving history books.
I'm literally the only orc, I'm pretty sure, right?
in the party, but there are other orcs out in the world that would really care about that.
Okay.
It's because that's I think you stopped by a group that was doing
Mardi
food.
Gras.
Yeah, Mardi Gras kind of thing. It was basically because that was part of saving their culture from what they knew from the world before.
Okay,
So-
so I grab as many cultural books as I can fit in my bag.
Yeah. There is no shortage. This room has probably 200,000 to 300,000 books.
That's a lot of books.
That's a lot of books.
Do I find a book that it is...
Because there's ladders that go... Because, the room is tall enough for the Drake to be up in it.
So I'm aware that I learned a new language.
You are aware that all of a sudden that this thing that wasn't a language, you now comprehend all of those symbols.
I am looking for a translation or some nature of book that teaches that language from Elvish. I want an Elvish to Dwarven dictionary.
Is there a Rosetta
You
Stone
believe you
somewhere?
could make one.
Yeah.
I
You
know.
now know both that you can make one if you can't find it. So.
Yeah, I'm looking for one, though.
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing a lot of these books of history are not in Elven.
Yeah, a lot of... more than half are. More than half of the information is in Elven. Elven is the more common language here.
Alright. But still, the ones I found with the specific orc important information was in Dwarven.
Yeah, that one was in Dwarven.
Okay, well I'm going to go and try to find a a dictionary for like an Elven to Dwarven dictionary.
Sure. Make a luck check for that one.
Because I know how academics work. And if I don't find something to translate it, they have to take my word for it, and that's not 13.
13. Okay. You're searching. You guys get to another door.
Guys. Well, I check if it's locked.
All of these external doors have been locked.
Yeah, I know. I still check. I don't just start picking at it and then try the knob.
It is locked.
18 plus 13.
That was a terrible ampersand.
31.
Yeah. You open that.
Well, all these so far I've opened, stepped to the side for Austin to step in. Granted, this is the first one we've opened.
Yeah.
This one's going to be full of weapons and stuff. I'm going to be really annoyed. I'm over here with books.
What'd you find? Oh, we found some neat history stuff. What'd you guys find? Oh, it was a vault filled with magical equipment, but it's sealed like right after, so you only grab like 3 things.
You find in here the outer walls sort of curve like following the tower, and the room is basically cut in half of the tower. There are doors at the back on either end, just sort of loosely hanging, somewhat open. This room has a dining table that would seat about 20 people, with chairs all around it. That is just a long table with both ends. The heads of the table are intricately carved, with like carved chairs with like one of them has very natural elements, very elven. The others more rigid, detailed kind of carving.
Well, explore the room real quick. Check
It's a
the
dining
back ones. Yeah.
Going through the back, you see you found yourself basically in a kitchen. In fact, you see another point of light as you go in the back, as there is a little hole that leads to just a fire sitting in the base of what is the oven.
Gaines Arcana check. Is this a portal to the plane of fire? I will also not assume that first, because I don't think our world has random portals to the planes of the elemental planets.
It doesn't.
And then I'll be checking magically then if it is a portal, using the thing to see it's a portal. 27.
And that is, what are you doing?
Knowledge Arcana. How does this fire that assumably has been going for years still going? Or is it it's just a rune or something down there that's something?
It is, there's a base pot. And it is essentially a decanter of endless water, only it is fire.
Yeah. Decanter of endless fire.
I'm so tempted to take a decanter of endless fire, part
It
of
is
the
actually in a
hose
pot,
mode.
and there is not like a noticeable top that is designed to seal it. It is inset. It does have an actual handle on it, but that handle is inset, and it seems to stick out of what is the oven that it is based in.
One of those little not candle things that you lighten, it's like alcohol or something that you put under chafing dishes.
The oil burners?
Sterno?
Yeah, so it's just a sterno with
Bit
a
bigger.
bigger sterno with a handle and magic.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm just saying, not very useful if not adjustable.
It has
The
a
adjustment would be
reason-
based on how far in or out of the oven it is.
That's not how that works, but okay.
It's
That would-
magic, it works.
Okay, so
That's why it's removable, is so that you can heat the chamber and because it is still based on an earthen oven concept. It is designed as a quick way to heat up the earthen oven, so it still uses that technology for the actual oven.
it is not a range.
Yeah, it's not a range. It's not that. Although There probably would be a spot you can find that would let it be sat under something, and probably the adjustment would be based on height for that. I only need a low heat. Let's crank that up.
Serve it for.
Yeah.
Okay, so little magical things like there's not a way to turn it off, but noted.
You also notice on the wall, like that's behind, so the outer wall of this goes in distance and has a flat wall that is, the back of the kitchen. The wall towards the dining room is lined with cabinets with glass doors and just elegant china and dishes with gold. Some appear to be literally carved from giant gemstones.
Fancy.
Just the most fine dinnerware, and there is a door on one side that leads towards the back part of this.
So,
But is there a set that's just pure adamantine?
Don't keep drawing on random paper that has notes. If I have one piece of paper with notes, don't keep adding things in there. Circle, halfway, dining, another division, and a door that leads back further.
oh, okay. I thought it was with a line in the middle.
No, yeah. This wall, the back wall, is parallel to the wall between the dining room.
Gotcha. So there's another back.
Another door. This
Check
door is
back there.
closed, and it's not locked, but it's hard to turn. And as you break the seal on this door, it is rancid.
Okay. So probably it's storage.
Yeah,
it's
this is the
rotted.
store cupboard, and anything in there is just gone.
Well, I mean, it's still rancid.
I'm surprised it's not just dust, but
Yeah, no, it seems to have been sealed in, and it
so yeah.
putrid.
I will check. They have,
Also a little cold.
we have fridges, so yeah. But they have magical fridge. They have magical heat. Do they have magical water?
Yeah, they probably actually have a decanter of endless water. If you mess around with something, there's probably a sink that...
Yeah, that I will take.
Yeah.
I will spend a little time disassembling. Is it actually a decanter or some other? Okay.
It looks like literally the item has been made, and just there's basically probably a few different spots where there are sinks, probably on the outer edges.
Okay. Is it hard to, like, do I need to check to say it?
No,
Get it?
it almost
Okay.
looks like it can be moved from one side to the other if needed.
Okay.
Just as the pot of fire can be moved from one spot to another if needed. And you find eventually a section that starts referring to the world's destruction. Through their smoothing things, you do notice some points of the rumors, the things that are going on, the things that are concerned. Could this be happening? Is this where we're moving towards? Basically, gathering information from before the worlds were destroyed, that there were warnings, that there were things. Make an insight check.
I don't know.
It's like you don't have guidance.
No, I'm a warlock paladin. They don't got that.
I have guidance,
Uh,
but that wouldn't help you right now.
Because you don't. It's like I'm about to have a breakthrough. Give me some help.
21.
21. You are able to, between some books, figure out, you find references that this tower was secreted away here to avoid the destruction. You find that it was in some sort of lower realm, which you would reference to be one of those strange, like, evil places that things have gone to, except they cleared it. They hollowed it, is the word that they use. That they took whatever beast was here and they destroyed all of it until it was open to them and they had their own place. That is what it does.
They came in here and kicked out whatever reality thing created this. Is like,
Walking through there more, you see basically a transition from the concerns of what they're doing and the gathering of information just after the world was shattered, starting from the time before the gods had managed to connect each of the portals, each of the pieces together. And you gather information from them, the unknown individuals here, that were trying to discern the results. And you see hard to understand notes that have drawings that appear to be orbits. That would be whatever is out in the distance that they were using seems to be related to some study as to what happened to the different pieces before it was known what had happened to them. You're feeling pretty let down that you're not going to find a Rosetta Stone between the two languages.
So I have to make one. Do I find any empty books that I could use to
You
make
find
one?
plenty of empty books if you look at the table in the middle. Some of them half full, but there are stacks with just books there and lots of quills. Ink is dried, but
So the half-filled ones,
Mhm.
what do they look like they were working on?
Variety of different things, from notes of history, continuing some of the information that he's currently studying, to one that is appears to be the beginning of some sort of romance novel that someone was writing.
But we got our brain trust of doomsday preppers, and they squirreled away here, and they've just been doing research and erotica. It's just what you do in the doomsday.
Yeah, these things do happen.
Okay, so
But there are blank tomes as well.
okay, so empty book. I'll work on a dictionary.
Yep.
By the way, 2 questions.
Mhm.
How much of the actual elven surface history do we think was lost versus... Like, are
There
there no...
were many cities.
Yeah.
There are 3 now.
And there's no more...
Any of the information that was necessarily in many of those would have been gone. For example, the concept of another race, dwarves,
Yeah.
would likely not have been something that was a common knowledge at the point where it was destroyed. But if dwarves were in history and something not many people knew of,
Mhm.
that history likely could have been destroyed from there.
So, whatever dwarves were, they weren't like a big, planet.
Yeah, there weren't like cities of dwarves that just got wiped away there that people were trading with.
Yeah.
If there were dwarves left at that point, they were together and they were secreted away from
Okay.
other people. Like, they were not involved in society. They weren't active with the other races at the time where that would have been known.
How long have the corporations been around?
The corporations, it's more recent, but
Okay. It's more recent, I don't care.
And their existence didn't coincide with this sudden.
in the year 806, 0 being destruction point,
Yeah.
the Union of the 7 largest corporations concluded efforts to seize control of the government. So they'd existed beforehand, and a few of them may have existed all the way back to the destruction time,
Yeah.
but they didn't have the kind of power until year 806.
Yeah. Well, I did not know if there was a global Illuminati suppressing knowledge of different races after the thing. And about how much landmass of the planet did we lose?
Most.
Okay.
It would have been an Earth-sized planet. Any one of these takes from 1 to 2 days to cross.
Okay.
So you could walk from one side to another of all of them in, say, 20 to 40 days. Some of them are going to take longer just because of the environment, but they're around the same size.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's... I think, what is that? Essentially the equivalent of a few states. How long does it take to walk across the United States?
Shockingly, I've never done it.
No?
years.
I don't think it's that long.
I'm gonna say it's years.
But yeah. Okay.
How long does it take to walk across the United States?
No, 6 months.
So this is around 2 months. So it is, and obviously not the same width, but it is,
You just
About
slapped him dead.
yeah, what you could do about a third of the about a third of the United States across. So it is a very small portion of a planet that was once Earth's size.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have very little of the world left.
Does the books that I'm reading that discuss the world's destruction and the Great Old One and the Demon Lord, does it give me any information either about the home plane that these guys hail from, or any particulars about them themselves?
The comments that are made, the Elder God would be from the Lost Heaven, and which is beyond known knowledge and to understanding, was wiped away with when vacated.
It's like, we know there was a universe before the universe. We don't know much about it.
Yeah. Well, there are still the heavens left. There are the different, but essentially the idea is that there would have been another one.
Okay, so maybe a whole another pantheon in their divine realm. Here's what I'm looking for. And then the Demon Lord would have been from arbitrary one of these torn into realms.
The 13th.
And it talks of the realm of worms.
With a Y or no?
Dragons
Worm,
or
W-O.
worms?
Okay. Very important distinction in fantasy.
Yes, they are worms. Why do you keep saying it that way? Because it's different than worms. You said the same word.
Put the emphasis on a different syllable.
Syllable?
Yep,
Yeah,
syllable.
Right. Yeah, syllable.
What do you guys do from the kitchen?
I briefly, what is the corporation's take on historical artifacts and their selling, or are they a suppressive, government? I forget.
Well, there's obviously some copyright concerns, as many old ruins are found to be using current tech, which is claimed by the companies. But otherwise, they don't necessarily oppress the knowledge of ruins.
I don't have to come up with things. He understands the corporations perfectly. I just let him roll with it. I'm like, nah, he's got it. It's fine.
No. It was like,
What do you put in front of the ruin? Oh, it turns out they had proprietary phone tech inside that ruin that it predates our corporation by 200 years. So that is ours, actually.
You need to seize those assets.
But otherwise, there's some forms we can fill out. This is a big find. There's historical grants that we could definitely cash in on.
Yes. Okay, good.
I'm going to donate to so many charities.
It's like, once we save the planet, we now have probably a really good retirement fund for this find.
Yeah, don't worry. The corporation's copyright has been great-great-great-grandfathered in.
Yeah. So, move up to the next one. It's like, I can bust out the laptop. Well, as I'm walking before I leave this room, I will turn on the laptop, see if I can get a Wi-Fi signal here. Or...
we connect as well. No, your phone's connected to each other. So you're able to access it, but you're not able to access outside.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so
so each cell phone is its own satellite?
Basically.
Okay. Cell phones work on radio waves.
They're magic waves. But yeah, you do also notice, having messed with the decanter of Ventus water as you walk further up, as you start walking around, you do see a spot on the wall where there is just a trickle of water.
I will investigate, inside.
Like hole. Literally, the sink just dumps out to the outside of the tower and pours off down towards, so it'll watch its way down towards the endless nothingness.
Oh, okay. So much like anything, when we have the infinite void of stuff, we throw our poop and other stuff out into the void because we don't want that here.
Yeah.
It's like if we had a little hole to the plane of air.
Take that, air.
Just saying, you agree that that's the correct action.
Abuse it? Yeah. So you find another locked door.
A fresh breath of air. Ooh, stink.
And we will get to that next time. Roll
Crypto.
Cryptocurrency.
10.
Also 10.
6.
4. Because, of course.
Because you're you.
I'm on fire. That's my third
I
10
used
in a
up
row.
all of my luck, apparently.
Yeah, that's my third 10 in a row.
Bless you.
Okay.
And otherwise, join us next time as we continue with this tower diversion. See what they can learn.
We built an extra dimensional tower. How are we not going to look into it?
And you gave it multiple doors and not just one.
Yeah. I mean,
And it's full of history.
if you wanted us to leave us, there were many choices you could have made that you did not.
But this is what's there! I know, it's just interesting. Having fun with it. Join us next time. Bye.